Welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am Processor Sky, and I am ecstatic to bring you the first ever Terpene Tuesday edition of the Weekday Wake and Bake. We were scheduled to have Roll Gang Rage come and continue her perfect streak of Trivia Tuesday, but sadly we are going to have to delay that just 7 days. She is feeling a little under the weather right now. She just traveled back from the East Coast, so we gotta let her get back from the jet lag of that, but we'll be a lot accepting of it. I'm super excited to chat with you guys about some terpenes. So Terpene Tuesday is basically a day where I am going to pick, I don't know how often this will happen, but I'm going to pick 3 of my favorite terpenes that are commonly found in cannabis, tell you what strains they're found in, tell you what they smell like, and also give you their health benefits so that if you guys are trying to pick a specific strain for a specific vibe, you guys can do that. And if you're feeling any of the, if you need your muscles relaxed, or if you're feeling anxious or depressed, or if you need to suppress your appetite a little bit, we're going to teach you guys how to utilize terpenes in order to do this. You know, you can find strains that are super high in these terpenes, and it's part of the magic of marijuana. So Mother Nature grows this beautiful plant that has unbelievable health benefits, super fun to consume. It's basically what we do here on the Weekday Wake and Bake every 8 a.m. Pacific time. And it's not just THC that we're smoking on. We normally have some really good in our smoke. So I am super ecstatic to bring the first ever Terpene Tuesday to the Weekday Wake. Just smoke some stuff up. So without further ado, let's get on in to this episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, brought to you by the Rolling Spoon, the most efficient way to procure your cannabis. So thank you guys, every single one of you, for tuning in. We've got Instagram tapping in, we got YouTube and Twitter and Twitch, and can't forget about Facebook. Oh, we can't forget about Zuckerberg and Facebook. And basically what we do here on the Weekday Wake and Bake is go live every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Herb, you guys included, and roll it up. Hopefully you guys got yourself a rolling spoon so you can roll yourself a dime every time, no matter what. And we can smoke it up. Have a wake and bake, orient our Tuesday, because we're going to talk some terpenes today. We are going to talk some terpenes. So if you guys wouldn't mind, sharing is absolutely caring, and caring is absolutely sharing. So if you guys wouldn't mind just clicking the retweet button on Twitter, or if you happen to be on Facebook, there's this magic share now to public button, and basically the magic happens because then we can appear in your friends' news feeds, and maybe we can sesh with them too, because the more the merrier. And I don't know, I love to sesh with you guys, and I am so excited to talk some terpenes with y'all. It's going to be really, really, I think, entertaining and educational content today. We are going to touch on 3 of my favorite terpenes. We've got myrcene, we've got limonene, and we've got humulene today to touch on. So by the end of the show, in 20 minutes, you guys are going to be basically professionals on those three terpenes. And I am so excited to get into this research and share with you guys how these terpenes can affect you. And if you guys are wondering what terpenes are, so how cannabis is structured, if you ever looked at it under a flashlight, you can see these little bubbles of joy. They're like these clear, frosty bubbles that look like they're just sticky and gooey and fun. And realistically, they are full of fun. So these little bubbles are called trichomes. So whenever you see each individual little bubble is called a trichome. And if you can imagine this little atmosphere inside of this bubble, what it contains is all these magical ingredients called cannabinoids. And THC happened to be a cannabinoid, CBD, we got delta 8, delta 9, delta 10, but all the cannabinoids also have terpenes alongside them. And if you ever opened your grinder or a container of weed and you were like, wow, this smells amazing. Wow, because it really does. What you're smelling, CBD, those are terpenes. And the individual terpene profile of each strain gives it its unique scent. And in fact, terpenes are so important that they are what determines a strain's sativa, indica, or hybrid structure. So basically, depending on what you're looking for in a smoke, whether you'd like to be more energetic or you'd like to be more relaxed, you can pick an indica or a sativa, but more specifically, you're picking the terpenes. For example, myrcene is an indica-based terpene. There are rarely some sativas with myrcene in it, but mostly myrcene is a terpene that's found in indica strains. Alternatively, limonene is very common strains, and it gives an uplifting and boosting and energizing vibe, completely separate from myrcene. And they smell completely different, and they have completely different strains. So make sure when you guys are picking your medicine that you guys are doing it with intent, because, for example, this morning I am smoking on some apple fritter. And this apple fritter does have some myrcene in it, but it also has limonene and pinene. So due to the myrcene, it is a hybrid, but limonene and pinene make it a sativa dominant hybrid because those two are heavy sativa terpenes. I think we can really advance our medicational habits and really take our dosing more seriously, because it's that we're smoking. It may just be THC that you're feeling in your brain, but I promise you the terpenes are also taking effect. You cannot smoke your cannabis flower without also smoking the terpenes that are contained within the cannabis flower. And it really is magic. Lots of natural things contain terpenes, like leaves or wood or fruits have terpenes, trees carry terpenes, and cannabis just takes advantage of them all. No plant has more multiplicity when it comes to terpene profiles. And I think the reason why cannabis is so unique is because every strain is different. Every terpene profile is slightly different and will have different effects therefore. I mean, if you're smoking a pinene dominant strain versus a humulene dominant strain, you are going to experience different results. So I am so ecstatic and excited to talk with you guys about 3 of my favorite terpenes today. We're just going to focus on in and deep dive into myrcene, limonene, and humulene today. We're going to talk about what strains they're in, we're going to talk about what they smell like, and most importantly, what they're going to do for you. But before we get on in, I would just like to show you guys this joint that I rolled with my rolling spoon. I mean, I don't really know if I could have, it's a little cigarette. We roll a dime every time here on the show, and I am so excited to smoke it with you guys. I hope you guys are smoking. I hope we can get nice and blazed here on this Terpene Tuesday edition of the Weekday Wake and Bake, brought to you by the Rolling Spoon. Roll a dime every time with the help of your rolling spoon. Without further ado, let me get a little toasted so that we can talk some terpenes. Wow, I can taste the pinene. I can taste the limonene in this. We got some limonene in this apple fritter, so we're going to have to talk about that. That's the second terpene here on the dock. Major shout out everybody tuning in here on all of our platforms, really being lenient with me. I'll have the comments section back online tomorrow too, but let's learn about some terpenes. What do you guys say? Good coughs. First off, on our list of terpene, Lord have mercy. We absolutely love this strain, this terpene here in this house. It's Wolfgang Rach's favorite terpene. We had some CBD flower with 22 milligrams per gram of myrcene, and that is extremely high. It smelled like myrcene to the face. Some strains that commonly contain myrcene are OG Kush, the original ocean grown, that strain, that smell that we all know so well, the OG smell, that is a lot myrcene. Myrcene and humulene, which we'll talk about later on the show, but it's a little mix heavy in myrcene. Another super popular strain that's heavy in myrcene is Girl Scout cookies, as well as Grape Ape. That's right. Some myrcene dominant strains, OG Kush, Girl Scout cookies, and Grape Ape. And you can tell all of those strains are super decadent and dense smokes. Whenever you're smoking like a Girl Scout cookie and you inhale, your lungs just feel full. And myrcene has a huge role to feeling. It's a really unique terpene because it's earthy and hearty and full, but it's also sweet and creamy and fruity. And that's why, depending on the different terpene mixture you're getting with it, you're going to get a different vibe from the strain. You can have myrcene strains that taste like straight mango or straight grape, because mangoes actually contain myrcene. Like the fruit mangoes actually contain the terpene myrcene. That is a completely different species. It's a fruit. Same terpene, and that's the magic. Is clearly trying to influence our lives with myrcene, because it's commonly found in a lot of things, in a lot of essential oils and the floral arrangements that these. So studies show that myrcene is one of the most effective natural muscle relaxants. So when your muscles are super tense, say you're just worked out or you're getting off the airplane or you're just in a situation where your muscles are just like agitated, roll up some pot with some myrcene sometime and try it. Because I play a lot of tennis. It's my favorite sport to play. And whenever I'm done playing and I come home and I roll up some smoke, I want some myrcene in my smoke. Potencies of myrcene is really strong and powerful, and it's different from some of the other terpenes. You're not going to get such a body relaxing high from, this apple fritters that doesn't have any myrcene in it or something else. But whenever you're smoking one of those myrcene dominant indicas, you can really feel the muscle relaxing properties, and it's so strong. Myrcene is so powerful for relaxing, and Mother Nature clearly intended for that. And another thing that myrcene is incredibly powerful at helping with is nausea. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're just nauseous or seasick, or make sure you guys seek out some myrcene dominant strains and try to consume it. It really helps smooth the boat, because whenever you're nauseous, it just feels like you're rocking it. And you really just got to take a deep breath of some myrcene, and it'll just fade off. It'll just melt away, like all of the troubles on your brain. Myrcene is super magical myrcene, but Mother Nature for including this magical ingredient in our favorite plant. Because, why else would she have put it there? Consume. So, absolutely love myrcene. A dominant terpene in an all-around favorite. Go get yourself an